What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. As you can see, it's a little bit of a change of scenery behind me. We moved into a new place. We're doing a walkthrough on Thursday, the old place, and then we're done there. So this is the new home for now. Kind of temporary. We'll see what happens. In today's video, we're going to be installing some real carbon bits to replace that vinyl wrapped carbon interior that I did. It doesn't look bad, but I knew one day we were going to be upgrading to some real carbon stuff, and yeah, I'm excited to do that today. So right here we have the HVAC trim, which is all carbon, and then the shifter trim, which is obviously all carbon as well. So these are both going to be replacing the units we already have in the car, and I think it's pretty simple. Last time I did it, it's just a few screws and a few clips, and they come right out. So let me show you guys what we have in the car right now. So as you can see, we kind of just have this vinyl wrapped carbon in here at the moment, and it doesn't look bad, but it'll definitely be nice to replace it with some real stuff. The plan with the HVAC trim, as you guys probably already noticed and are questioning it, why I have some Sharpie marks on there. I want to have like all the people that influence the build sign the trim, and some of you might recognize the signature. That's Devin's, big YouTube car guy. I'm lucky enough to live near him and know him personally, so I had him sign that, and then we got a bunch of real estate for more people that influenced it. So let's start by pulling the old stuff out of the car, and we'll go from there. So starting with the HVAC trim, we're just going to pull this little side panel off. We got a screw right there, and then I believe there's one on the other side as well. Let's go ahead and pull this guy out. Okay, so for this side, we just have to pull the little gauge cluster cover off. It just pulls straight out, just like that, and that's released. And we also have to pull the radio out as well. I believe this also just kind of pulls straight out, just like that. Now everything should be off, and we're able to unclip the HVAC unit. So I like to start from the passenger side and just work our way towards the driver's side. Alright, so sorry for the dogs in the background, but like I was saying, just start pulling it off, and you should be able to just unclip it. Everything kind of comes out. Now we just got to undo the little climate control clips. These are super easy, just kind of push down on the little levers and pull them out. Moving on to the shifter trim, if I remember correctly, that's pretty easy as well. There's like 2 or screws that hold this in, maybe 3. There might be one under the e-brake boot. This kind of just picks up. Take the shift knob off, and you can kind of just unclip this and pull it straight up and out. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and pop this shifter boot off. I believe it just comes straight up. Just like that. And like I said, we got 1 screw right in there. Let's zip that off real quick. So now with this piece, all it's got to do is lift up like that. Doesn't have to go any more than that. Shift knob, just twist that guy off. Actually, this one might actually be able to stay on, now that I think of it. All the old one had to come off for was so that the shift boot could clear it, but because this one's skinnier, it might actually be just fine. So now this shifter trim, you just kind of reach underneath or on the side of it and pull up from the sides. I'm kind of doing this one-handed, but if I set you guys down, make it a little easy for myself. Just kind of pull up and out, and it frees itself. Shifter boot, slide it right up. Now the STIs obviously have the little wire because that STI light lights up, so don't forget about that little guy. Little clip, and you're off. So now moving on to the fun part of pulling the climate control off, the vents off, the shift boot off, everything that's going to get transferred on to the new stuff. The vent is just held in with little clips, so those just kind of pull apart, and the vent comes out. The climate control, you got 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Go ahead and pull those out, and you should have that free. Shift boot's also super simple. It's just a bunch of clips on the back side, so they just kind of pry out, and you can pull that off. And then lastly, the light is just 2 screws, and you can pull the light out. Now, the real carbon shifter trim doesn't have this little pad in it. I'm not really sure. This is just like wet and like 3M taped, so I guess we'll just take it off, clean it up, slap it on this one, apply some new tape, and we'll be good. So putting this back in the car, same thing as getting it out. Let's go ahead and plug in the little light first. And then we can flip this over and tuck it right back in there. Moving on to the HVAC unit, we're just gonna go and plug in the climate controls that we unplugged. And once those are in, we can go and slide this guy into place. That's it. Shifter trim's on, HVAC trim's on, and it's looking super sick. You can see if you look at the door handles or this vent, this is all wrapped. It doesn't even compete with this. So eventually we'll get the full set, but for now, this is what we got. All right, guys, I want to give a huge shout out to Carbon Mike on Instagram. He's the one that does all this carbon work. I'll have his socials linked down in the description box below. But that's really going to do it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, drop a like. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions, as always. And I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Until then, catch you guys in the next video. Peace out. See y'all later.